Hello, Outlaw Sports Company viewers. Yeah, I don't know if I could do that. We're trying something a little bit different this time. We're ripping some 1991 O-Pee-Chee baseball, premier baseball cards. Something you don't see on too many channels nowadays. We're going to feature some older rips, some newer rips. This is something that I got into during the pandemic, is ripping some older cards that maybe you grew up with, cards that were actually readily available and affordable, not marked up to ridiculous prices. About a case of these during COVID, and opened up about half of them. No super rare cards in here. This was pre-prism, pre-foil, pre-fancy. But this is kind of a neat set. For the longest time, O-Pee-Chee basically just mirrored the Topps version. Was printed in Canada, distributed in Canada. But in 1991, you know, in addition to their release that looked just like the Topps cards, they released their Premier Edition. This set had 132 cards, so it's loaded with mostly stars. Tons of Hall of Famers, not a ton of value. All this stuff was overprinted, but kind of fun to open up some stuff that you don't want to spend an arm and a leg for. These boxes came with 36 packs. Each pack had just 7 cards in it, so it's a very small box for the time, and we're going to have some fun. We want to look for Ken Griffey Jr. as with most early 90s stuff. Frank Thomas has a nice card. This is second year. Nolan Ryan, Barry Bonds. And then we're looking for Hall of Famers as well. Let's get right into it. If I can open these packs. Nothing here has high value. Most of the 10s will range from 25 to 50 bucks. Ryan Sandberg, Juan Gonzalez, Paul Molitor, George Brett, Fred McGriff, Moises Alou, Ray Langford. So as I think I've stated in a previous video, there's Frank Thomas right on the bottom. Never have any luck ripping cards. But as a kid growing up, even as an adult, it's so much fun to do. You don't want to go broke doing it, because it's definitely not a sound investment. If there is a card that you really like, a player that you really like, it's a lot easier to just go and buy that individual player off eBay or your local card store or wherever. Save you a lot of money. Opening these high dollar packs nowadays is like buying a lottery ticket. You might hit it big every once in a while. It's fun to open stuff. But for the most part, Dave Justice, for the most part, you're not going to get your money back. So, in order to keep my business alive, I'll buy individual cards and try to grade what I can, try to resell what I can. And for the fun, to scratch the itch of opening stuff, a lot of times I'll open older stuff because it's a lot cheaper, especially early 90s when everything was overproduced. So opening something like this gets that itch of opening packs. I don't have to spend, you know, close to 40 bucks for a freaking blaster that were $20 or just a few years ago. And I can move on to the next. Tim Raines, nickname Rock. So to those people just starting out, yeah, it's fun to open new stuff. It's a good way to go broke. So buy the individual stuff that you like, or that you want to sell, and move that for stuff that you want to hold long term. If it's just for fun, for opening stuff up, definitely don't sleep on the older stuff. No Griffey yet. There's a Galarraga. Don Mattingly. Bernie Williams. Nice glasses, Bernie. Jack Morris. And what I'll do with the notable players from sets like this is I'll throw them in the bins for, I don't know, 8 or 10 cards for $1 at card shows. It'll give people some fun to look through. We'll even discount them even more, or give them away to kids if one of them shows a lot of interest in something that's not worth a ton. Every once in a while I'll try to grade some of the older stuff if it looks really, really good, or if it's one of those top 4 or 5 players. Dave Winfield, Tina Martinez. Roberto Alomar, Ozzie Smith, Cal Ripken. I don't know why Junior's not on that. Roger Clemens, decent pack so far with name recognition. Jeff Reardon. These packs are definitely harder to get open. It's been a minute since I opened them. There's Bonds. Dale Murphy. I know during the pandemic when everything was so hard to find, there is Griffey. You could go to the local flea market and pick up some older stuff. This actually is how I got connected with a lot of the older stuff that I bought. Yeah, it's easy to find online. I actually met a gentleman at a flea market that had a booth. He had just bought out an old warehouse. And got to talk with him, did several business deals, and got a bunch of stuff to rip, go through, fiddle around with when nothing else was going on. Robin Yount. And there's a little bit of nostalgia. I didn't open a ton of this kind of card when I was growing up, but with certain other older packs, it's definitely brings you back to when you were a kid, when things were simpler, when you were falling in love with the sport or the hobby. And again, when things didn't cost an arm and a leg. We are going to do some vintage rips from time to time. There's Frank Thomas on the back again. And Griffey on the front. That's a good pack. And I'd love to hear what kind of vintage stuff you'd like to see ripped on this channel. What sets you really liked. Doesn't have to be high dollar. Just things that'll take you back. Bernie Williams on the back. Don Mattingly. So definitely comment below on some older stuff you'd like to see. We'll make that happen. Or a Hershiser. Got a dud pack. So no foil, no inserts, no numbered cards, no autographs. Highest card in 10, maybe 50, 60 bucks. Tina Martinez. But it scratches that itch. Oof. Del Trammell there, that pack was a little rough. To recap, there's only 132 cards in this set. Packs are small, 7 cards per pack, 36 per box, packs per box. So it's definitely a Steve, a quicker rip. Anytime you can get somebody like Ken Griffey Jr., it's not all bad. Dave Winfield again. Ooh, I'm falling apart here. Tim Raines again. Cecil Fielder. Jimmy Key. Dennis Eckersley. Kirby Puckett. Albert Bell. Alan Trammell. Last 6 packs. Let's try to get one more Griffey in this box. Kurt Gibson, Eric Davis, Ricky Henderson, Terrence Pendleton, who won the MVP in '91. Darryl Strawberry, Doc Gooden, Robin Yount, nothing. Kirby Puckett. Oral Hershiser. Last pack. Gonna give Griffey a big hurt. Eckersley on the back. Tim Raines. Cecil Fielder. And we end with Eck. So to recap, we got 1 Bonds. We got 2 Frank Thomas. 1 Nolan Ryan, and 2 Ken Griffey Jrs. Centering on these cards doesn't look horrible. We'll look those over to see if any of those are gradable. Again, we'll put the rest of these in like a 10-cent bin. Notable players. Very cheap rip. I think these boxes were like $8 a piece. 1991 O-Pee-Chee Premier Baseball. Tune in again for more content. We'll be seeing you again in a few days.